Alright, so we're going to take a look at the last rule, fraction exponents. Alright, an exponent of 1/2, so of a fraction basically, is actually the square root. An exponent of 1/2 is actually the square root. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say 4 raised to the power of 1/2. So again, remember it's actually the square root. So what is the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is 2. Alright, instead of writing this all down again, I'm just going to put arrows. An exponent of 1/3 is actually the cube root. Then exponent of 1/3 is actually the cube root. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say 27 raised to the 1/3. Alright, so we're going to write that as 27, and that's how you write cube root. And what that's saying is, what number multiplied by itself 3 times is 27? Alright, so let me check 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8. So that's not it. 3 times 3 is 9, times another 3 is 27. So 3. 3 multiplied by itself 3 times will give me 27. Alright, an exponent of 1/4 is actually the 4th root. And you get the idea of this, the 4th root. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say 16 to the 1/4. So again, what number multiplied by itself 4 times is going to give you 16? Let me check 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8, times another 2 is 16. So 2. 2 multiplied by itself 4 times is equal to 16. So that's all exponent with fractions is what number multiplied by itself as however many times is equal to that number inside. So and so on. Alright, so let's take a look at some examples. Number 1, what is 125 to the cube root? What is 105 to the cube root? What number multiplied by itself 3 times will give me 125? So I'll check 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. That's not it. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. That's not it. 4 times 4 is 16, times another 4. Let me write this down. So 16 times 4, I'm just checking, is 64. So that's not it. So I'm going to check 5. 5 times 5 is 25, times another 5 is 125. So 5 is the cube root of 125. Let's look at a different kind of question. What is 4 raised to the power of 3 over 2? So this is not 1 over something, but there's a number on top. So what is 4 raised to the power of 3 over 2? So we're going to split this up into a fraction and a whole number. So 1/2 times 3. And then we write it with the root sign. So 1/2 is square root and to the power of 3. The square root of 4 is 2. So 2 raised to the power of 3. 2 raised to the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8. Okay, so these fraction ones, you just split them up into a fraction and a whole number. So let's take a look at another one. What is 27 raised to the power of 4 over 3? So again, split it up into a fraction and a whole number. So it's 27 raised to the 1/3 times 4. Okay, then rewrite it in parentheses. So cube root and then all to the power of 4. So again, what number multiplied by itself 3 times gives you 27? So we check 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8, so that's not it. Check 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times another 3 is 27, so it's 3. So the cube root of 27 is 3 raised to the power of 4. So now 3 to the raised to the power of 4, and again you just write it out. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and then you just work it out. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3. So 27 times 3, and I'll just do it over here on the side. That's going to give me 81. Okay, let's take a look at another example. What is 8 raised to the power of 5 over 3? Again, split it up into a fraction and a whole number. So you're going to say 8 to the 1/3 times 5. And then you're going to rewrite it as the cube root of 8 all to the power of 5. What number multiplied by itself 3 times gives you 8? So I'll start with 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8, so it's 2. So that's going to be 2 raised to the power of 5. then rewrite that. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 5 times. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. So 8 to the power of 5 over 3 is 32. Alright, last example. What is 256 to the power of 3 over 4? So again, split it up in a fraction and a whole number. So 256 to the 1/4 times 3. Then write that out as a root. So 4th root, all to the power of 3. Alright, what number multiplied by itself 4 times will give you 256? Start with 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times another 2 is 16. That's not it. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. That's not it. 4 times 4 is 16, times another 4. And I gotta work this one out, so I'm just gonna write it out. So 16 times 4 is 24, carry 4, carry 2, sorry, it's gonna be 64. Times another 4, check the 4th one, 6 carry 1, 24, 25, 256, so it's 4. Alright, so 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64, times 4 is 256. So it's 4 raised to the power of 3, so 4 times 4 times 4, so 4 times 4 again is 16, times another 4 is 64. And that's basically it. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at using all the laws that we've learned to just solve any question that they would give you. So these are the kind of questions that you're going to expect to see, not the questions that have been given you individually. So let's take a look at an example. Okay, so we're just going to do examples now. So 2x to the power of 0, and then y to the power of negative 3, all raised to the power of negative 2. Again, there are many ways you can do this, but I'm going to follow a specific one. You don't have to do this one. I'm going to first get in the house. Okay, so negative 2 gets in the house, it multiplies with every exponent already in the house. So the power rule says that when you are getting in the house, you just multiply the exponents. So it's going to be 2 to the power of negative 2, and then x to the power of 0 times negative 2 is 0. Then y, negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Perfect. I've got it in the house, gotten rid of the power. Now I'm going to look at that negative exponent. So negative exponents, the rule says that change the negative to a positive by taking the reciprocal. Top goes to the bottom, bottom goes to the top. So it's on the top, so it's going to go to the bottom. So it's going to be x to 0, y to the 6, and then 2, positive 2 to the bottom. X to the 0, what is that? A 0 exponent, it's always equal to 1. So that's going to be 1. 1 times y to the 6th power over 2 squared equals, let's simplify, y over 6 over 4, because 2 squared is 4. And that's it. So these are the kind of questions you're going to see. Number 2, x to the negative 5 divided by x to the negative 2, all to the power of negative 3. Okay, again, since I started with the power rule before, I'm going to start with the power rule. You don't have to do the same thing. So get in the house, you multiply everything in there by the power. So negative times negative is positive 15, negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Now I've got it positive, but now it looks like quotient. So I go to quotient, and the rule is it has to have the same base, and you subtract the exponents. So the same base it does, and you just subtract the exponents. So it's 15 minus 6. So x is to the 9. And that's basically it. So over and over, just using all the rules that you know. It doesn't have to be in a specific order. Let's take a look at another example. 2 over 7 to the negative 2. Again, power rule, it looks like this. You just multiply. And so let's get ahead and get the house. So 2 to the negative 2 and 7 to the negative 2. Alright, now what do you notice? You see negatives, so negative exponents. Okay, so just take the reciprocal. Top goes to bottom, bottom goes to top. So top goes to bottom, so that's 2 squared, and then bottom goes to the top. So that's going to be 7 squared on the top. Alright, now we can just evaluate. 7 squared is 49, or 7 times 7, which is 49 over 4. And can I simplify? No. So that's my final answer. Looking at another problem, number 4. 5 raised to the negative 2, x raised to the negative 3, y to the 11, over x squared, y to the negative 5. Alright, equal. And again, many ways of doing this. I'm going to start with the negative exponents. Top goes to bottom, bottom goes to top. So everything negative, that goes to bottom. So 5 squared, x to the 3 in the bottom. The x squared is already on the bottom, so we could just put that there. And then take that y to the 5 on top, and then we got y to the 11 on top. Now what? Well, we could do, let's do the product rule. And the product rule says they have the same base and you add the exponents. Same base and you add the exponents. Alright, so same base and add the exponents. So 5 plus 11 over 5 squared, then 3 plus 2. So y equals 16. 5 squared is 25, or 5 times 5 is 25. And then x to the 5th power. Okay, number 5, x raised to the negative 6th, parentheses, 2x raised to the 6th power, close parentheses, all squared. Alright, so again, you don't have to start in the order I do, but you can. Negative exponents, top goes to bottom, bottom goes to top, and becomes positive basically. So let's do that. So we're going to put x to the 6th power on the bottom and copy everything else down. Then I'm going to use the power rule. Okay, power rule just simply means get in the house. You just multiply the exponents. Multiply the exponents. So let's multiply 2 to the 2. So 2 to the 2, and then x 6 times 2, which is 12. Then x to the 6 on the bottom. Go ahead and simplify that. So 2 squared, and then x to the 12th power over x to the 6th power. Alright, then I can do the quotient rule, which says if they're divided, then you subtract the exponents, as long as the bases are the same. So the two x's, so I can write this as 2 squared x 12 minus 6, which is going to give me 2 squared is what? 4, and then x to the power of 6. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so the last two examples we're actually going to do in class together. 6 and 7 we're going to do in class together. So that's going to be it for the video.